Yeah, he's a, ja- a janitor. Oh my God, I can't tell my mom he's a janitor. I can't tell my dad he's a janitor. If you have to ask the question, if you're too picky, chances are you're too picky.
Hi, I'm Mary.
And I'm Chester.
And this is Working in Love. We're here to answer your toughest relationship questions, to guide you and equip you with the skills and knowledge you need to get that lifelong happy marriage you deserve.
So if you're tired of wasting time, make sure you subscribe, like, drop us a comment. Let's get started.
Let's go. So today's burning question of the day is, am I too picky or am I just protecting myself?
The fact that you have to ask if you're too picky, that means you are being too picky, and you need to reframe that. You got to focus on setting standards, because once you have the proper standards, healthy standards, there's no such thing as being picky.
If you are asking this question, am I being too picky? That just means this is a very critical time of your life where you have to really think about who you are and what makes you who you are. So the things that make you who you are to the core would be your spiritual beliefs or your religious practices, your values, your principles, your morals, the things that you stand strong on by what you believe is right, what you believe is wrong. Those very things that you feel completely passionate about, that you feel very strongly about, those are the things that make you who you are, and your person must align with those same things. You should never settle for 50% of that. Meaning you should never settle for 50% of you in another person you choose to marry. Well, for example, if you are a Christian and you live your life entirely by your Christian beliefs, and you're also very passionate about your political views. For example, you have democratic political views that you stand very strongly by, you're very passionate about. When you see someone and the person you're seeing is a Christian, also follows the Christian practice the same way you do, with the same Christian beliefs. However, they differ in their political views. They have Republican views that are opposite of what your views are, and they feel just as passionate about those political views. That is settling for 50%, and you should never settle. If you guys decide to try to work this out together and marry each other for life, it's likely going to end with a life of resentment and misunderstanding, and can drift you guys apart as life goes on. And you don't deserve that, and nor does that person.
Set standards. We have healthy standards, unhealthy standards. Example of a healthy standards, like Mary said, do we have the same political views? Do we have the same religious views? Healthy standards. It's good to align on those standards. That's not being picky. Unhealthy standards. Does he make $100,000 a year? Does he have a doctorate? Is he a janitor? Unhealthy standards that people often use to self-sabotage their relationships, their choices. So as long as you set some solid standards, you can never be picky. So I'm going to reframe that. It's not picky, it's setting the right standards. Let's say you're with somebody, you're on a date, you're unsure. Yeah, he's a janitor. Oh my God, I can't tell my mom he's a janitor. I can't tell my dad he's a janitor. Let's say he's a janitor. And you want to end the relationship because you get the ick. I'm not proud of him being a janitor. You need to write that down on paper. List all the things you like about the person, all the things you dislike about the person. And if he fits 99%, and then you put the dislikes, he's a janitor, and that's the only thing, that's what you're determining the rest of your life on, is him being a janitor. Maybe that's just having the wrong standards, right? You need to reevaluate.
Overall, don't settle with your standards. Always go with someone who aligns with you to the core of you. Your values, your beliefs, your principles, your morals. Everything else will just all fall into place. And that concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching to the very end. We really appreciate you being here, and we hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please subscribe to our channel. And if you have a burning relationship question, please put that in the comments below. We would love to answer that. So until then, and until next time, all the best to you your wellness, and your journey. And we will see you next time. Take care.